Hello Snappy and welcome to our English news edition brought to you live by RTD channel. Here are the top stories. The infrastructure North region inauguration of the new mineral port of Gubeit. Vote in the snatch on the deployment of an African forces in Mali. That was the headlines. Now to the national news. A week after the port of Tajura and that of the multi-service rally, the President of the Republic has presided over the ceremony of inauguration of the harbour of Gubeit, intending export of the salt and also the lake of Assal or the mineral to the foreign countries. After the official intervention, the President has inaugurated the new harbour of Gubeit, which has its rating on 1, Minister of Transport, the Ambassador of China, to representative of the company China Harbour. Since the President of its arrival has been welcomed by the Prime Minister with the members of the government, the parliamentarians, the representative of the Chinese society, the representative of the Chinese Company of Construction, China Harbour Engineering Campaign, officials and dignitaries of the countries, members of the diplomacy accredited in Djibouti, as well as the representative of the international organization. Thanks and dance work that this ceremony has begun. Millennium, the export of the salt was by now caravan of value of the salt in abundance, and Lake Assal will be of industrial getting married. 6 million tons will be exported each year from the port of Gubeit, and this region will become a high place of carry salt. The work of completion of the port of Gubeit have been entrusted to the Chinese company China Harbour Engineering with a fund of 64 million. The port of Gubeit is equipped with the modern amenities and also can accommodate ships beyond generation. The sector of Gubeit, a place filled with the legend, will become with its new port a logistics center for export the salt made in Djibouti, but also a place of production of the goods abused in the salt used in the chemical industry. With the inauguration of the Port of Gubeit project, industrial and tourism will be spurred with the exploitation of the geothermal resources in the sector of the Lake Assal, which becomes a strong symbol of the effort of the chairman to develop and diversity economy. It will become an asset for economic growth and will create a dynamism in the field of creation of employment in the region and also at the national level. In his speech, the President of the authorities in the port, Mr. Abu Bakr Umar Hadi, listed the strength of this harbour of Gubeit as well as the economic opportunities that it offers to the Republic of Djibouti.
In this intervention, the Ambassador of China accredited has Djibouti reminded of the level of good relation and development fruitful cooperation between China and Djibouti. It has especially highlighted the different achievements and infrastructure that has allowed development this cooperation, how many beneficial for the economy of the Republic of Djibouti. The Minister of Transport has accomplished its disbursements for the promotion of the economy of the country through the creation including port infrastructure such as the airport of Gubeit.
The Republic recalled in his speech that the infrastructure development constitutes one of the factors which accelerate the economic growth by valuing the potential that our country offers. Speaking for the occasion of the debate for inauguration, the head of state Ismail Margile has indicated that today's inauguration comes in the right line of the national strategy of expansion and diversification of Djibouti's economy. Indeed, as you know, the development of infrastructure is a factor in the acceleration of economic growth and offers a better exploitation of the potential of the country, he said. Through this ambitious program of infrastructure that we are fulfilling day by day, year by year, we want in our region an economic renewal, and that engaged a dynamic which strengthens the positioning of Djibouti as a regional platform and is capable of trade. The realization that we are inaugurating today intend to be a tool at the service of the diversification in the transport sector and open up new prospects for the national economy in a sector that is still underexploited. Actually, this port offers logistical modern capacity for the export of our salt across the world. As well, we are moving with the history of our region, known for its centenary role of maritime trade, having spices and salt while entering the era of modernity. In order that the potential of the white gold becomes a source of prosperity for the region, we have invested in this new port to allow our country not only extract but also transport and transform our raw materials in the most competitive way as possible. In effect, we thought it was crucial to equip this producing area of salt adequate infrastructure in order to liberate its economic and industrial potential. And in the same line, the ambition of this harbour wants to put before made in Djibouti that this either through the export of salt but also especially of the whole of its many derivatives, in effect products were used in the chemical industry such as the chlorine or caustic soda derivative of the salt, whose application is in constant growth. And these products also have a use in our daily life. Chlorine is used in products such as bleach or still in the solvent that are found in the plastic product or in the pharmaceutical industry. The caustic soda with respect to it is found in areas as diverse as the industry of soaps or even the production of aluminium. So you see there are many possibilities for that our country is positioned not only in the region but in the world as a leader in these industries, and deciding to do services of this or harbour is only the first step. It now belongs to the whole of our compatriots to invest, but especially to invest in these industrial activities to revitalize our national economy and create opportunities for jobs and wealth for all Djiboutians. My ambition, he continued to say the President, and my wish first would therefore be to see young Djiboutian entrepreneurs turn to these new opportunities and also to use this port not as a fixed infrastructure but also as an outlay to a dynamic growth and transformative.
The Minister of Trade and Commerce and Mr. Hamad Hassan Ibrahim has carried out this morning performance a visit of unacceptably inception on the creative market of Riyadh. During this movement, the Minister is ensuring that availability and the quality of the foodstuff in the market of Riyadh. Many traders are installed. The Minister and his officials have also taken advantage of this visit to see the observance of price counterparts by the Minister of Commerce on the products such as fruit and vegetables as well as the meat and the fish.
And now in a brief intervention, the Minister of Trade, Mr. Hassan Hamad, was satisfied with his visit, but it has application to traders to do more effort on the quality aspect, more precisely on the sanitary quality of foodstuff and the respect of the code of trade and consumers.
It is with great sadness that the family of Abdulkader Wapuri Asghar and announced the date of Mariam Mohammed Aden in France at the date of the 20 June 2017. She was the wife of the late former president of the National Assembly, Abdulkader Wapuri Asghar. Mariam Mohammed Aden, now under the name of Sharifo, was appreciated by all for her kindness and the assistance she has provided to very many people. She was one of the pillars of the Jewish community, known for the generosity and its ability. The Jewish community of Tens has lost a mark. She has a fervent supporter of the party RPP party, which allowed the independence of our party. We pray to Allah, the very top, the merciful, to grant her here and His forgiveness and the welcome in the eternal paradise. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un.
And now moving on to the international news, G5 Sahel snatching vote on the deployment on African forces. Since 2015, jihadist attacks have spread to Central and South Mali, and the phenomenon has spread to neighboring countries, particularly Burkina Faso and Niger. Emmanuel Macron will arrive on 2 July in Bamako for the summit of the G5 Sahel leaders. Mauritania, Niger, Chad, and Mali and Burkina Faso, with a timid diplomatic victory, France succeeded in voting in the UN Security Council and unanimously on Wednesday, June 21, a resolution welcoming the deployment of 5,000 strong anti-terrorist forces consisting of contingent from the 5 Sahel countries charged with protecting the borders of this vast Sahel-Saharan zone in the throes of the violence of the jihadist groups and also the trafficking of drugs and human beings. And however, the Americans, who refused any text at first, finally voted a resolution offering political and legal support to these African forces, but not granting a UN mandate. The text also referred to the crucial issue of funding of a donors conference and asked UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres to report within 2 months on problems encountered and other possible measures that might be envisaged, including a UN financial contribution. On 5 June, the European Union announced a €50 million aid. To set an example, the Trump administration has vehemently opposed the UN's endorsement and funding of anti-terrorist forces led by Africans, while the peacekeeping envelope is being renegotiated. Washington demanded a decline of more than $1 billion out of total budget of $8 billion. That's it for tonight's news. Thanks for being with us and have a very wonderful evening.